What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in this video I do want to go over another hot topic for the Motorfest Beta. I did see many people discussing that's going to be the weather effects in this game, at least compared to the Crew 2. So I do know a lot of people obviously weren't like the biggest fan of how the weather was in the Crew 2, and that's mainly going to come down to how the snow was. My goodness, I honestly hated it, and even then the developers actually lowered the spawn time of the snow, so you basically never see it when playing the game. So that was definitely a plus. But jumping into the Motorfest Beta though, guys, I could not believe how good this game does look. For one, I would actually say even driving around in like the daytime with like clear skies really does look absolutely amazing for that matter. But if you throw some rain in there and or some like nighttime and or like a dust type of time, it really does look absolutely incredible with how the rain does hit the ground and like the overall atmosphere that it does give you when racing around. Like, I did have a few people in a different comment with the lighting video that were talking about how good this game actually looked in nighttime, especially with the rain. It really is a whole different vibe when driving on Motorfest compared to the Crew 2. Like, having the nighttime actually show up this good and having the rain come down really is going to be an incredible atmosphere, especially for a racing game. I also did have a lot of people saying stuff about this on that one lighting video. It's also kind of funny, guys, because every time I go look at that footage from the beta, I always go look at like the nighttime driving with like the fogginess of the rain. I honestly could not believe how good it did look. Like, for example, in that Zonda R clip, I was honestly amazed with how good the vibe was when racing. Like, legit throwing on some music in this game and cruising around is going to be an entirely different vibe from like the Crew 2. And one thing that's also cool, guys, when driving around, another small piece of detail with this rain, if you guys have been in a place like Florida that does get a lot of rain and or like a lot of storms, you most likely notice how a lot of rain does bring a lot of winds. This is definitely going to be a very common thing here in Florida. Like, what's also funny is when you're driving down the street, you can actually see the rain down the street. You can then drive into it and then right out of it in like 20 seconds, which honestly makes no sense. I really guess the isolated showers do love popping up. But in Motorfest though, guys, when it is really windy in this game though, I noticed the wind does add on to like the overall like immersion when it is raining as well. Like, for example, it does actually push around like the water when it is raining, and it really does look insanely cool, especially like in the mountains, because you really do see like the trees and or bushes moving around, and it really does add on like an entirely different setting to this game compared to like something like the Crew 2, because I really did feel like the overall detail of that game wasn't as good. But that's also going to come down to like the sheer size of that map, so I really do understand that. But I do know a lot of players are mentioning quality over quantity, which I do think a lot of players are going to agree with, because now a lot of the small details are actually going to matter a lot more. And one thing I also noticed, by the way, guys, the fogginess in this game looks insane. When racing through a city, you can actually barely see some of the buildings in the distance. I was also finding myself basically like zooming around the camera angles to really see like different parts of the map with the fogginess. I really can't wait to jump into this game here soon, guys. Like, it is coming up quick, so luckily it's not going to be too much longer. But I would like to know your thoughts on the weather in the comments below. Like, I really do feel like a lot of people loved it. A lot of people kept commenting on how good nighttime looked with the rain, so I really can't wait to drive around more often and really check out the weather effects. Seeing the fog pop up in like a crazy sunrise and or like the sun setting with like a crazy rain shower is really going to be a whole different experience. I really can't wait for this game, guys. But again, let me know your thoughts on the weather effects in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insight.